said this a couple of days ago, PBD, on the Unusual Suspects. Ask anybody that was on the cast that's here. About 10 minutes ago, Taylor Swift just endorsed Kamala Harris. That right there, that vote, that independent, and it's on her Instagram. I just sent it to Rob. Taylor Swift said, like many of you, I watched the debate tonight. By the way, canned response by somebody else. If you haven't already, now is a great time to do your research on the issues at hand and the stances that these candidates take on the topics that matter to you the most. Okay, as a voter, I make sure to watch and read everything I can about the proposed policies and plans of this country. Recently, I was made aware that the AI of me falsely endorsing Donald Trump presidential run was posted on his site. I really conjured up my fears around AI and the dangers of spreading misinformation. I brought it to the conclusion that I need to be very transparent about my actual plans for this election as a voter. The simplest way to combat misinformation is with the truth. I will be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in 2024 presidential election. I'm voting for Kamala Harris because she fights for the rights and the causes I believe need a warrior to champion them. Now we're talking about that independent, those people in the middle. How many Swifties follow her? How many? And
women who want.
And think about this. And earlier,
finish it. Keep reading. Okay, I want to read the whole tweet. Keep going.
My bad. Here we go.
I think she is a steady-handed, gifted leader, and I believe we can accomplish so much more in the country if we are led by common, not chaos. I was so heartened and impressed by your selection of running mate Tim Walz, who has been standing up for LGBTQ, IVF, and a woman's rights to own her own body for decades. I've now done my research. I've made my choice. Your research is all yours, and your choices you make. I also want to say, especially to my first-time voters, remember that in order to vote, you have to be registered. I also find it's much easier to vote early. I'll link where to register and find early voting dates and info in my story.
They timed this perfectly.
With love,
Childless
go
cat
back.
lady.
Taylor Swift,
childless
cat lady.
And I told you about the Democrats. What a fantastic tactical move. We were talking about the people in the middle, those girls, the Swifties. Earlier this year, didn't she say something to go out and register to vote? It was earlier this year. This is a major, by the way, who do you think wrote that? That was planned. It was timed perfect. The moment the debate was finished. And now this is what I'm talking about, how tactical these people are. What a gangster move. You want to talk about swaying a vote? How many followers does she have? How many followers? Hold on.
283 million.
283 million. How many do you think are going to go and register to vote right now because Swiftie told them to? That's what I'm saying, guys. So they're playing a whole different game. So
yeah,
that's huge.
Listen. I honestly would have kept this for a week out. I would have kept this week out. Right now it's what? 7 weeks out? How many weeks out are we? 7 weeks out, election, something like that. I would have kept it for a week out, 2 weeks out. This is pretty big. It doesn't get bigger than like who's going to come into like Kardashian? Who's going to come in and do something? Like who are you going to get that is going to have? This is their number one draft pick
100%.
for Hollywood.
I actually think it was a stupid move to do it on the exact same day that everyone's talking about.
Waste of a card.
Yeah, like you want to do that, boom, when nobody's talking about anything else. Everyone's talking about the debate. No one's talking about this. It's a PS. It should have been done Friday or Sunday, like boom, before the weekend, after the weekend, major story. I actually think it was a horrible decision. So,
but I mean, horrible decision. But at the end of the day, she's saying, look at the bottom, vote early, go do it now, and register. We can say in a week. By the time people register and do all that type of stuff, I think it's a perfect time, and leave it up to the Democrats to do something like that. Which is, listen, they got her. She's in the bag.
It's way too early. It is way too early. How many adults what?
I mean, by the way, have you seen her concerts? Her concerts are full of dudes.
By the way, why don't we do this? Let's play the game. Okay, hang on. Let's play that game and said how many adults. Let's go through it. 283. How many are in America?
Her followers?
Out of the 283 million followers, how many do you think is in America?
No,
20%? Fine. Let's go. You guys want to do 20%?
I would say 40%, 30%.
Let's say 30%. Let's say 30%. That's 80 million. Out of the 80 million, how many are under 18 years old? Half?
I don't know, guys.
You guys want to say half? Say half. That's 40 million. Of the 40 million above 18 years old, how many were already going to vote for Kamala anyways?
The majority of them, yeah.
Okay. So of the 40 million that were already going to vote for Kamala, give me a percentage. It's not all of them. What's the percentage? 75%. So there's 10 million left. Of the 10 million that were not going to vote for Kamala, how many are just following them because they're a Trump fan and their kids follow Taylor Swift, so they follow them, they like the music? How many of the 10 million are Trump guys and there's no way they're going to do anything? Half? I think maybe a little bit. Well, let's say half. What's left? 5 million. Of the 5 million, how many can be swayed to actually get up and go to work and vote and do their thing? How many of the 5 million? I think it's so much less, guys. I think it's so much. I think it's like 5%, to be honest with you. 250,000.
And Pat, if I can add this, she doesn't need...
That's the number. If you really break down the numbers all the way down to seeing that, put it 10%, 500,000. Okay, cool.
And the reality is, Pat, she doesn't need 1 million or 500,000. She needs 10,000 in Georgia.
That's what I'm saying.
5,000 in Nevada. There's
But by the way,
7 states.
that even makes it worse.
That's my point.
That even makes it worse and less relevant. So meaning a big name in a battleground state saying something is more valuable than a Taylor Swift. You know what this would have been most important? You know what would have been very strategic if the writer would have said, I'm willing to do, whatever specifically if you're in the following states.
Yes. I'm doing a concert in Georgia,
just
in Atlanta.
These 6 states.
Yes.
Wow.
Just these 6 states. If they really want to get strategic, like look how RFK did it. RFK did what? Kept them on the ballot for 40 states, took them off the ballot for 10 states. That's super strategic. They wasted this Taylor Swift hit. This was actually very dumb.
It's
very dumb the way they did it. They could have done a better job than this.
I'm curious on how much they paid her. That's a lot of. You got to pay a lot for one. So PBD, how much would it be for?
Chelsea got paid $20 million by Pfizer to endorse the vaccine.
Of course. Oh,
so
these two are beauties.
John Legend's
They're
out
both
there
beauties. But I mean, think about it. So Paul, I think Kim Kardashian gets, I want to say 5 to 10 million per. What kind of money are you getting to promote Kamala Harris on the night of the debate, right when it's over? That money.
By the way, Rolling Stone, look at this. Trump melts down, lies about migrants, eating cats after Harris trolls him. This is what they're saying. ABC, Taylor Swift. Boom. So they're spinning. The spin job is officially here.
Happening.
So it's moderator David Muir. There's coverage. There's no Trump coverage. Yeah. So anyways, we're gonna see. But I think this is early. I thought this was good for America, for them to see exactly where people are at. Everybody needs to go do their own due diligence. Amy, you are right. People should go do their own research and kind of see what's going on. Unfortunately, they're not going to be doing that. No. The closest thing they're going to be doing is the Instagram stories to see exactly what's going on rather than going down through the policy. To everyone in Florida, that you're down here, South Florida, I want to give you a quick announcement. This Saturday at 12 o'clock, I will be at the Fort Lauderdale Barnes & Noble signing books of Academy that just came out. First fiction book. I'll be signing Your Next 5 Moves, and I'll be signing Choose Your Enemies Wisely. Come join us. I'm going to be there. Vinny's going to be there. Tom's going to be there. Adam's going to be there. I'll be signing for 2 hours. First come, first serve. You buy a book, you'll get it signed by me. Fort Lauderdale, Barnes & Noble, this Saturday at noon. Put it in your calendar. We'll see you there.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.